This is gonna be hard. This is like asking a mother to choose her favorite child. I can't just do a top 10. There's gonna be honorable mentions, okay? Hi, hello. My name is Kylie. A lot of you know me as Haunted Hippie or also as the Antichrist. Yup, slid straight out of Satan's womb. Here I am to wreak havoc on this earth. That's my day job, but in my downtime, I love to talk about physical media and horror movies with you guys. Today is no different. Today I'm gonna be talking about the top 10 items in my physical media collection. In reality, it's gonna be more like a top 15, but I won't get super detailed and into it until my top 10, I promise. If that sounds good to you, sit back, relax. If you enjoy other types of spooky content, going on spooky outings, just physical media talk in general, then go ahead and click subscribe and join our cult. This is the smaller subsect of our cult, it's true. The larger group gathers over on the Haunted Hippie channel to talk about horror movies. We're just happy to have you wherever you want to be. So with that being said, let's get on with all the honorable mentions. First up, we have my copy of The Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm not going to pull this one out and everything. It's just truly some of my favorite artwork that I have on any of my physical media. As soon as I have enough space for this one, I do want to have it front facing on the shelf. Right now, I can only fit it in spine out, but oh gosh, this is so pretty. I love me some Pumpkin King. Mwah. There's also a huge buttload of special features on this, so this is just a good DVD overall. Next up on the honorable mention list, we have a couple of threesomes. Not that kind of threesome. We have got 2 VHS bundles of my top 3 favorite Audrey Hepburn movies, and then also the original Star Wars trilogy. These I didn't want to dive into too deeply today because I picked them up somewhat recently, like in the last few months, and also because eventually I do want to show you my entire VHS collection. So I don't want to pull all these out and spoil everything, plus you already probably saw them recently. Next up, quality-wise, these are absolutely nowhere near the top 10, but that's not what this list is about. I guess I should have put that as a disclaimer that monetary value has nothing to do with my top 10. These are all very deeply personal to me. Although a lot of them are very special editions. They have a lot of cool artwork, so there is a little bit of overlap there, but for the most part, as you'll see right now, this is all highly subjective. If you've been around for really any length of time on this channel, you know how much Scooby-Doo content I have collected. It's just the franchise that keeps on giving. I swear to God, I find a new Scooby-Doo DVD almost every other time that I go thrifting. So I thought that I'd pull it out and really just take stock of how much I've gathered so far. It's pretty incredible, so I thought it worth being an honorable mention. Cause holy shit, look at all this Scooby-Doo stuff that I have. I haven't really tallied it all up yet. As far as I know, I do have the complete second season. I have at least 2 of the movies, and I have as well 2 of the very original episodes. So What a Night for a Night, I think, was the very first episode released in 1969. So I have the first and third episodes here. Everything else is from What's New Scooby-Doo, and I'm just so proud of my little collection. Mwah. So that had to be an honorable mention just because this is the sign of a true collector right here, okay? This one is tough because it's one of my top 3 horror franchises of all time, but that would be this Chucky collection here. I don't know how well it's gonna show up on camera right here, especially with my lights. I love this image right here. The only reason why this is not top 10 is just because the inside of it is not that exciting. It's like a typical kind of plastic lunchbox vibe. And also it doesn't include the remake. I happen to be a big fan of the remake, so I just think this would have been improved by having the entire collection, although I think this came out before the 2019 film. I just love it. I love that it looks like a little doll boxes in the second movie. It's perfect. This is great marketing, just a great product for a Child's Play fan. My last honorable mentions have to go to my collections of Frankenstein and Dracula. This one, oh, it was so close to being in my top 10. I feel like it's a little bit interchangeable because I actually like the look of this one more than my number 10. However, the inside of it is just kind of where it loses me a little bit. It's kind of cool. I like that it snaps open like this, but then for some reason there's great artwork on this one DVD, but then this DVD is super ugly. I'm like, why didn't we go all out with that? I don't understand. That's the only place that it loses points. Plus it's also kind of difficult to close, and I feel like at some point I probably will damage this. Just gonna have to be really careful with it. But I had to include these because this one includes the original 5 films, not including the short film from 1910, plus all the special features. Like, this is one of the best pieces of physical media that I own just for the sheer amount of history that's captured in it. So many documentaries and all that good stuff. I went over all of it in a recent physical media haul. Or was it recent? I feel like time is just, it's been flying before my eyes recently. This is a Blu-ray bundle and it contains the first 6 Dracula movies, and there's also a ton of special features on this one too, including documentaries, there's 3 feature commentaries, there's just so much good stuff on these. And since the Universal Classic Monsters are having a revival, I just read Frankenstein for the first time. I'm currently reading Dracula. I'm I'm just very, very into these in my collection right now. This one has been living on my dresser because I've been doing research. So it's just been very much at the forefront of my consciousness. I'm in love with Frankenstein at the moment. Although I am shooting this from the past, so you're seeing this while I'm already across the pond. Maybe you've already seen my deep dive of Frankenstein through the 1930s on my main channel. If not, check it out. Now let's get into my top 10. Here we go. At number 10, we have my Arrow video edition of An American Werewolf in London. This just has great artwork on the front. It has really cool artwork on the back. This imagery was a motif that I feel like could have been a lot stronger in the movie, and so I love that they included it on the packaging. Really underrated imagery from that movie. But then also because here is the Blu-ray, it also comes with a poster, and then here's a little booklet of information too. This was invaluable for all my research on this movie. I did post a deep dive of this movie just a few months ago, so you can check that out. It's very juicy, very fun. Here's the little booklet. Love that artwork. When you go through it, it's a lot of pictures. It's not like the strongest booklet I've ever seen in one of these, but it was really helpful. I did quote it for my deep dive. The poster is also very sexy. As soon as I have the space to hang this up, I will. It's also double-sided. Let me show you. I feel like this is a little bit more of the conventional image of the poster. I think it's gorgeous, but I think that I would probably hang up this side. I just love how the blood is like in the shape of the wolf. I'm really obsessed with this more like old school looking side of the poster. And it's really sturdy, really good material. This absolutely will not rip easily. I just don't have the space to hang it up right now. So sad. There's just a lot of different elements to this piece of physical media, and so I really feel like Arrow Video outdid themselves. They did justice to this movie. Coming in at number 9, I have a lot of screeners. These are just little pieces of physical media that are in these like sleeves, and this is what's sent to members of the Academy for their consideration. So they get all these screeners before they get to vote, and so it says like everything that it's nominated for here. We have a friend in the Academy, so I do have a bunch of these from 2019, aka the year of Parasite. So I have a bunch of those, but I've also found a ton of them in thrift stores near me because I live near LA, and my favorite one that I've ever found is this copy of the Santa Clarita Diet. I've never seen one of these screeners that's so sturdy. They did such a good job with this, and also the artwork that's inside. It's just so pretty. It's so well done. And also, this is probably my favorite because I love this show so much. It was taken from us way too soon. Just an absolutely gorgeous piece of physical media, and I love this because on the other ones, they're just so flimsy. Like, they're clearly made to probably be thrown away afterwards. There's no like protection. They're easily stained and scratched. This one, I wish I could explain the texture of it, but it's like nice and soft, but it's also really sturdy and it's very protected. Like, this is not going to get banged up easily. It's also like, I don't know how to describe it. It's not like photo paper, but it's just really, it's nice and sturdy, you know? I think I also love that it looks like a mini record holder or like a CD. Just a really cool, unique piece of media. Next up, this one has to be a 2-for-1 because I just couldn't help myself. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and I used to be very proud of the fact that I had it in every single medium. I used to have it on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and the Steelbook, but as soon as I got the Steelbook, I was like, I really don't need to keep my DVD and my Blu-ray. This was getting silly. But that would be my copies of The Ring. This is just a rarity to me. I don't typically see this movie on Steelbook. In fact, my friends got this for me for my last birthday, and I believe they had to order like the Canadian edition of it. So before I opened it up, the cover actually also had like the French title of it as well. The inside also has my favorite imagery from the movie. It's when Samara is in the institution. She's being tested. Just so pretty. It's so well done. And then of course, my VHS tape is also among one of my favorites just because of the VHS tape in the movie. It's such a vibe. I've never gotten to watch this movie on VHS. I now have a VHS player. I just still need to hook it up. So it will happen someday, and I cannot wait for that day. Next up, we have a movie that I have never even seen yet. And it also has its sequel in here. But that would be my copy of Battle Royale, just because this is such a banging piece of physical media. So first of all, you slip this cover off, and then you've got this entire like book. It's really, really sturdy. It's not like most of the other booklet type things that you'll see in physical media. Every single page is like made out of cardboard, and some of them contain the DVDs and the special features. Sorry, my camera does not want to focus on it, but I want to show you every page because the artwork is just so well done. So yeah, I think you could probably tell now why I included this in my top 10, even though I've never seen the movie. There's just so many great details to this, especially also the spine. It feels like a book spine. It has like this separate material that's binding it. And when you look at it, it looks like a book. It's super cool. There's tons and tons of special features on this. In fact, there is an entire separate DVD that's dedicated just to the bonus features. You also get both the theatrical and the director's cut of the original movie. All right, at number 6, this is just an all-time classic. Had to put it in this list. That would be this edition of Jaws that I have. This is the 100th anniversary collector's series from Universal Studios. I don't know what other movies they put out as part of this collector's series, but I wish I knew because I want them. So you open it up, there's the Blu-ray right there, and then the rest of it is like this book. And the book with all the photos is in the middle of each of the DVDs because this comes with the Blu-ray and the DVD. And I just have not seen this before. Typically, you'll always see that the booklet is completely separate to the movies, like how I showed you with American Werewolf in London. You pull it out and it's separate. I had never seen anything like this before. I thought that it was so cool because it makes the entire collection, again, feel like a book. I think it's also nice because it seems like it pads the DVD and the Blu-ray a little bit, makes it more sturdy and resistant to damage, I think. And the outside is just like this great cardboard packaging. Again, very sturdy. And again, just a ton of special features that I think any cinephile would be totally interested in. Getting into my top 5. So my number 5 is pretty similar, so I apologize. We've got more Steven Spielberg here with Jurassic Park, but this one, oh, just all the little finer touches of it, I'm obsessed. So first of all, when you slide it out, it says, "Welcome to Jurassic Park." Just such a good touch. It's such a good touch because I personally like to store things when they have a sleeved cover with the spine out. I think it looks better that way. And I think they knew that because they put this on the back, "Welcome to Jurassic Park." But then there's also this artwork on the front of it if you like to store it the other way. And this one does not have the book inside of it. It just has great artwork on every page. Somehow they knew what a lot of my favorite scenes were from each movie, and they've got them depicted on each page. And this happens to contain all the movies in the series that I find to be great. So it is the first movie through the first movie of the reboot trilogy. And then it also has the reboot in 3D, I believe. Yes, it's true. I do love the entirety of the original trilogy, and I also love Jurassic World. I am a Jurassic World believer. Do I like the rest of the trilogy? Not a bit. Well, maybe a little bit. There are still parts of them that I can find to love because it's dinosaurs and it's Jurassic Park. But this is like the golden collection for me personally. Oh, it has the original in 3D too. Wow, I am just the luckiest girl. I don't know if this one has special features. I would imagine that it does, but I have no idea. I do have other copies of the movies though, so not a worry for me. Next up at number 4, we have Tombstone. This is one that I actually found on my own, which I'm surprised by because this was one of my grandpa's favorite movies of all time. It was absolutely his favorite Western. I think somebody else in the family must have got their hands on his original DVD of it, but I found this one myself. And this is one of my favorite types of physical media. You will see why in just a second. There is artwork at literally every turn of this little package here. And it opens so big. I'm not even gonna be able to fit it all in frame here. But I love the fact that there is artwork not only on the DVDs, but then when you pop them out, there's different artwork on the background. So just all the attention to detail I think was so lovely. Plus, yet again, we have this separate little booklet of information. And the booklet itself also opens in the middle like this. Really never seen anything like it. They just tried to make this fun and fresh for the whole family. They also include a map of the town from the movie. Such a strange little touch. Usually when there's something like this in there, it'll be like a poster of the movie. But they were like, no, let's put a map. I just think it's so cool that down to the tiniest details, like on this little pocket, there's separate artwork right here. Do I have a very personal connection to this movie? Yes. But I think regardless of that, this would probably still be one of my favorite pieces in my collection. Next up, we have a very similar package here with the original The Evil Dead. This is the Ultimate Edition. I know I've showed this off before, but I can't help it. I just love it so much. You open it one time, you open it 2 times. What? It just keeps going. Look how many different DVDs there are in here just for one movie. I understand that back in the day, they didn't know how to fit quite as much onto a DVD as they do now, but it's just so fun that it's in this like giant packaging. And I'll show you the artwork behind them. Again, one of my favorite things when there's artwork on the DVD themselves and then the artwork is different behind the DVD. On this one, ooh, And the second little panel, oh yes, we have the iconic poster image. I think this was the original poster, right? And over here we have, ooh, I don't know if I've seen this image before. Very interesting. I like it. This one also comes with a poster, and it's double-sided because they know what's up. So there's the original image, and then on the back, it's the original image with a little bit of a twist. It's the original image, the remix. I would probably eventually want to frame this side of it just because it's the original one. Although this side is a little bit more in line with my aesthetic. I don't know, it's more black. Oh, I didn't even show you. So on the back too, there's different artwork every time that you unfold it. I love this one. This one's probably my favorite. And this one's really cool. This looks like a hand-drawn poster image there. What can I say? This one just had to make it in my top 3 favorites in my collection. My top 2 movies are movies that are in my top 4 favorites on Letterboxd. Big surprise there. So I do think that that's partially why they made it so high up, but the physical media just also happens to be amazing. First up at number 2, we have Dazed and Confused. This is one of my favorite things that I've ever been sent in the mail. I think this is such a gorgeous Criterion Collection edition. What's so cool about it too is the artwork that's like underneath. When you slide it out, all the faces are still there. I think they change though. Again, just my favorite thing when at every little turn they decide to do something unique and different. This one has the separate booklet, oh, and a separate poster. This poster image is not one that I typically see, so I feel like it is a cool one to own. It is a little bit loud though. I don't know if this is something that I would hang up. Maybe eventually I'll sell it, because I just don't see myself putting anything with this many colors up in my home. I've not had a chance to go through this booklet. What I do love about it though is just how unique almost every single page of it is, whether it's like photos from the shoot or it's like, I don't know, yearbook excerpts or something. There's just a lot of information in there and a lot of cool artwork, honestly. I just feel like someday I would have to do a deep dive into this movie, even though I know it's not horror, but it's one of my favorite movies of all time. I love it so much, and I know surprisingly little about it. And here is the inside of the actual Blu-ray. I just find the aesthetic of it so interesting. It's a little bit different to the movie itself because I don't think we actually get like yearbook type moments, but I love it nonetheless. It makes a lot of sense. I think I just love it so much also because I've never seen this type of a case before. I do have something a little bit similar. Hold on. This Amelie case is similar, but like you can see there's only one hole there. Sometimes there's little fun kind of pop-up stuff like that, but I don't have very many pieces like that. And this is the only one I've seen where they've played this much with the actual casing. So love this movie, love this physical media. Finally, my number 1 favorite item in my physical media collection. Was anybody surprised? Anybody who's a regular noticed that it was missing from the shelf back there? That's right, that would be my director's cut of Midsommar. It's just one of the most beautiful pieces of physical media I've ever seen in my entire life. Everything about this is just so spot on. A24 just does everything so well. I feel like they know exactly the type of merch that a movie-going audience would want. I mean, the Talk to Me party hand. I know this doesn't count as physical media, but it's literally a pipe of the Talk to Me hand. Like, are we kidding right now? They also have Beau's pajamas from Beau is Afraid. Just stuff like that. Their attention to detail is so good, and it's no different with this director's cut edition of Midsommar, which I actually haven't seen, but I'm going to this year because I'm gonna put out a deep dive of Midsommar for midsummer, the summer solstice. I love that the artwork is different when you actually pull it out because, again, attention to detail. I want to be surprised at every turn. Then you open it, and I love when the DVD's art matches the art in the background. We've already been over how I love when the artwork is different, but when it's the same, I feel like it's a little bit more rare, and it's super cool. I love these drawings. Whoever did this artwork, bravo. And you also get to see the rest of the artwork from the movie. I kind of like that there's no information in this booklet, that it's just art, because that's kind of, oh, I'm gonna have to censor that, because that's just kind of the vibe. I don't know. This movie has such a mystique about it that I feel like putting a bunch of information and stuff would weigh down the physical media a little bit. This makes more sense to me, and I believe that it's all the artwork that we do see in the movie. So it's cool to be able to see it up close because for the most part, it's only on screen for a couple of seconds. So it's really fun to actually be able to like look at it and hold it in your hands and study it. Oh, also the artwork on the back. I literally want to get this tattooed. Oh, just love it so much. I love all my physical media so much. I've never done anything like this before, doing my top 10 favorites of my collection. Let me know if there's any other top 10 related type content that I could do with my physical media. Anything else that you would like to see, like to hear me talk about in terms of like my preferences with my collection. Let me know, because usually I'm just doing hauls or I'm doing anti-hauls, but I feel like there's so much more about physical media that I could be talking about. For example, I really need to reorganize my collection soon, so you're probably gonna get that video soon here as well. But let me know. Don't be a stranger. Don't be shy. Let me know in the comments down below what you'd like to see. If you'd like more content from me, like I said earlier, you can follow me on my main channel, Haunted Hippie. I also have a Patreon, and I post to both of those channels every single week. You can also find me on social media. Go crazy, have fun, but don't be annoying. More than anything, I just hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope I catch you in the next one. Bye!